I'm not afraid of an army of lions led by a sheep. I'm afraid of an army of sheep led by a lion. I have not yet begun to fight. Better to die standing than to live on your knees. It is fatal to enter any war without the will to win it. The sword is more important than the shield, and skill is more important than either. I'd rather live a short life of glory than a long one of obscurity. The harder the conflict, the greater the triumph. I am the punishment of God. If you had not committed great sins, God would not have sent a punishment like me upon you. I would rather die 1,000 deaths than see my motherland enslaved. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. When the enemy is relaxed, make them toil. When full, starve them. When settled, make them move. There are only two forces in the world, the sword and the spirit. In the long run, the sword will always be conquered by the spirit. A good battle plan that you act on today can be better than a perfect one tomorrow. Let your plans be dark and impenetrable as night. When you move, fall like a thunderbolt. I am the way and the light. Follow me, and you shall find salvation. The gods do not wish to judge us for what we did in our past lives, but for what we will have wrought in this. We are what we think now, what we do now. If you men think that I rely on numbers, then all Greece is not sufficient, for it is but a small fraction of their numbers. But if on men's valor, then this number will do. Think, when a man or a prince is tough and strong within, then he can make peace as he pleases, and when he is powerless, a stronger one will come upon him and do whatever he wants with him. The self-confidence of a warrior is not the self-confidence of the average man. The average man seeks certainty in the eyes of the onlooker and calls that self-confidence. The warrior seeks impeccability in his own eyes and calls that humbleness. The average man is hooked to his fellow man, while the warrior is hooked only to infinity. Men don't follow, they follow courage. Do not underestimate the power of an enemy, no matter how great or small, to rise against you another day. He who knows when he can fight and when he cannot will be victorious. The wise warrior avoids the battle. The skillful warrior wins the battle. The invincible warrior avoids war. I have found that the way of the samurai is death. That means that when you're compelled to choose between life and death, you must quickly choose death. The samurai spirit is not frail like flowers, nor rough like stones. It is as resilient as the bamboo, flexible yet unyielding. I was scared before every battle. The old instinct of self-preservation is a pretty basic thing, but while the action was going on, some part of my mind shut off, and my training and discipline took over. I did what I had to do. If we cannot find a way, we will make one. I am fighting as someone like you, who has lost their freedom. I am fighting for my bruised body. The gods will grant us the revenge we deserve. Think of how many of us are fighting, and why. Then you will win this battle or die. Courage above all things is the first quality of a warrior. Feel no fear before the multitude of men. Do not run in the panic, but let each man bear his shield straight toward the four fighters, regarding his own life as hateful, and holding the dark spirits of death as dear as the radiance of the sun. Discipline is your best friend. It will take of you like nothing else can. You're a warrior. Warriors don't give up, and they don't back down. Pick up your sword, your shield, and fight. Warriors are not what you think of as warriors. The warrior is not someone who fights, because no one has the right to take another life. The warrior for us is one who sacrifices himself for the good of others. This task is to take care of the elderly, the defenseless, those who cannot provide for themselves, and above all, the children, the future of humanity. Come and take it. I came, I saw, I conquered. Rise up, warriors. Take your stand at one another's sides. Our feet set wide and rooted like oaks in the ground. Learn to love death's ink-black shadow as much as you love the light of dawn. Here is courage, mankind's finest possession. Here is the noblest prize that a young man can endeavor to win. A true warrior fights not because he hates what is in front of him, but because he loves what is behind him. But if you choose the way of the warrior, living a life of service, it will demand of you the best you have. You may not need to be great, but the world needs your greatness. The warrior stands ready to defend, ready to fight for those he serves. He is a warrior of virtue, a knight of conscience. He is who we all wish to be. A warrior with a cause is the most dangerous soldier of all. A warrior lives by acting, not by thinking about acting, nor by thinking about what he will think he has finished acting. A fool is happy when his cravings are satisfied. A warrior is happy without reason. That's what makes happiness the ultimate discipline. The warrior fights with courage, not with anger. Death exists, but not suffering. A true warrior knows that when he loses a battle, he is improving the skill with which he wields a sword. He will be able to fight more skillfully next time. When you become fully responsible for your life, you can become fully human. Once you become human, you may discover what it means to be a warrior. Weapons may be carried by creatures who are evil, dishonest, violent, or lazy. The true warrior is good, gentle, and honest. His bravery comes from within himself. He learns to conquer his own fears and misdeeds. Warriors do not lower themselves to the standards of other people. They live independently, according to their own standards and code of conduct. The thing about a hero is even when it doesn't look like there's light at the end of the tunnel, he keeps going. He's going to keep digging. He's going to keep trying to do right and make up for what's gone before, just because that's who he is. Out of every 100 men, 10 shouldn't even be here. 80 are just targets, 9 are the real fighters. And we are lucky to have them, for they make the battle. But the one is a warrior, and he will bring the others back. The warrior is always first a servant. The warrior does not serve because they cannot lead. They know that a person cannot lead if they do not serve.